You heard Mr. Onyekwere, Mr. Ogunye, the back and forth that we've seen on this budget. As important as it is, the relationship between the executive and legislature, what comes out to you in all of this?
Well, it just shows that there is no seriousness in governance. I weigh my words carefully, but that's all I can see. Indeed, with this budget, just as we are heaving a sigh of relief, Nigerians are heaving a sigh of relief. Now, eventually, the budget is passed. We're now being told that this budget will run for another 12 months, for a year, implying that the aberration of having budget passed in the middle of the year, almost in the middle of the year, is now being normalized. It's now become a norm. That's the new norm. So if this budget is going to run for 12 months, then that means the disruption will continue. The current budget will not expire, so to speak, until May, June next year. So unless the two arms of government, and in particular the legislature, brace up and say, look, let's normalize this. Too often we're told by the legislature that they are there to check the executives, they are there to ensure that things work normally because they are the representatives of the people. If the executive submits budget proposal, appropriation bill in October, why can't the National Assembly work on it just for the sake of normalizing the budget cycle? Work on it assiduously for 2 months and ensure that we revert to the January, December.
Well, you heard that they're claiming that MDAs delay also in the defense of this budget. I mean, is it only the fault of the legislature? Because the executive, that's where you find the MDAs.
Let me throw a scenario. Budget is submitted in October. A call is made to the MDA in November. All of you have to present yourself, defend it in November. We'll pass it in December. If you don't come to defend, we'll pass the one we can pass. There is nothing that says that they can't pass it in phases. Just to demonstrate the legislative authority to ensure that there is a regularization. That's the point I'm making. They can't keep making the excuses. Oh, you are not coming. Oh, March, they are not coming. April, they are not coming. That means you are conniving at it.
It might get worse in 2019, isn't it?
It may get worse.
Mr. Onyekwere, just as we close the program, if you look at the trend in 2015, 2016, 2017, the president has touched on the budget when it's passed on to him for his assent. It's not been signed off immediately just like that. There are adjustments. But we are in the middle of the year. Do you think that maybe the president this time around will sign off this budget and the budget will get rolling immediately?
It may not be possible for the president to sign off if we take previous experience as a guide. So I see a situation where he may have to throw it back at them, and maybe in 1 week or two they clean it up and the areas of disagreement and get back to him. But just like we are saying, if the executive and the legislature are serious about reverting to the normal financial year, it is not too difficult to do. Like I did suggest, projects can be carried over, those ones that they could not finish in the year, and then put it in the budget for the upcoming year. And as had been indicated, they could approve the budget and then wait for those MDAs that are not forthcoming. They can come up by way of supplementary budget or amendment to the existing budget. So through that, we can revert to that financial year because there's a lot of distortion. The National Assembly is always relying on their powers under Section 318 of the Constitution. So in 2005, 2015, the financial year was different. 2016, a new financial year, 2017, and maybe 2018. That does not introduce certainty into the law. That was not the contemplation of the constitution makers. So I expect them to read that section very well, and either they amend the financial year act to say it must now be April to March or June to May, rather than having it as different periods in different years.
All right, Mr. Onyekwere, just in one sentence, you've had your experience on issues of budget. What do you think is the major evil that bedevils budgeting in Nigeria? Just in 10 seconds.
Well, I think it's a lot of tardiness and people not taking their job seriously, because if they do, they'll start the process on time and end the approval process on time. But of course, the implementation is a different kettle of fish, which is quite fueled by corruption and other challenges, capacity deficits that leads to very poor implementation of the budget and the outcomes for the people.
Thank you, Mr. Onyekwere. Mr. Ogunye, in 10 seconds, your final word on the issues of budget. It's been a long, dragging issues about sloppiness and all of that.
How will it impact on the lives of the ordinary citizens? If there is no impact, then the budget is meaningless. And we hope that this one will not be meaningless.
I must indeed thank my panel tonight. Mr. Eze Onyekwere is the Executive Director of Center for Social Justice. Thank you so much for your time. Mr. G.T. Ogunye, many thanks for coming on the program. Thank you so much, gentlemen. And that's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for being part of it. I'm Sean Akimale. Bye-bye.